Hey, well, joining me in the studio today is my good friend Sherryn Tai. She's actually on days on Life FM, but I just dragged her next door because she's about to go off in an incredible adventure all the way to Uganda with a World Vision. Hey, Shez.
Hi, Lizzie. It's super nice to be here in
Yeah.
your studio. We're Day Show sisters.
We're day show buddies.
Yeah, just next door. That we should ask them if they could cut a hole between the studios, pop a window in there. We just smile at each other all
There
day.
used to be a window there once upon a time.
You're not wrong.
I think maybe it used to put us
we put
us
paper
off.
on it from the Life FM side so we couldn't see through the window at each other.
Thanks very much. Just touching that old sore wound.
Days. Those were the days.
Hey, but you are going all the way to Uganda.
Yeah, on the trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, this is mind-blowing. What's happening?
So on the 3rd of August, which is like so close. It's not far away at all now. It's been creeping up very quickly. The 3rd of August, I'm jumping on a plane for the longest flight I've ever been on.
How long?
Oh, I think it's like
18
off the
hours.
top of my head, it's like 18 hours.
Yeah, the first leg anyway.
Yeah, the first leg of the trip. So flying to Dubai, 18 hours, and then it's another like 5.5 hours to Entebbe, which is in Uganda. And then we're traveling north up to the border of Uganda, right near South Sudan, and visiting this little village there called Ordupi. Now, I'm making the trip with World Vision. I was so privileged and delighted that they asked if I, little old Sherryn from the Life FM Day Show, would go with them to see some of the work that they're doing in this village of Ordupi. So yeah, that's where we're going. I've never been so far in my life.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a very different experience. Now, you and I, we were in a meeting recently where World Vision came and they actually showed us some videos of how life is there in this particular village. They're pretty poor from what I remember.
So Uganda, this is one of the poorest parts in Uganda that we're going to. And actually, they've had a lot of civil unrest in this area over recent years, ravaged by war right on the border of South Sudan. So they've got these Sudanese refugees coming over and, setting up home. A lot of these kids also have arrived alone. They've come without mum and dad because they've seen some really horrific things. And honestly, I had to say to the team, the World Vision team, in one of the meetings that we had, like, guys, I need some advice. How do you talk about this without just being a blubbering mess?
Yeah.
Because even just saying that out loud, like, I've got kids of my own, right? I could not imagine. I couldn't even fathom. So I'm a little bit actually genuinely nervous. It would be cool if the Star team and those listening, could pray into this for me. So it's just for some courage, because I know that we're going to see some pretty harrowing things, some pretty heavy stuff. But what the World Vision team said to me, the way I can communicate now without crying about this is that World Vision is there.
Yeah.
That World Vision is bringing hope, that they're bringing the love of Jesus, right? And that they're actually in that village, they're in that situation, working in not only the children's lives, that they're going to sponsor these children, but they say for every child that gets sponsored, it's like it impacts about 4 people around them, right? It also impacts the village and the community. So honestly, I'm looking forward to it. It is going to be hard. I think I'll probably need to take a whole box of tissues.
Suitcase full of tissues.
Yeah, but I think it'll be absolutely life-changing for me personally, but I'm excited about the stories that I'll be able to bring back and the stories that I'll be able to tell having visited there personally.
Yeah.
And the goal is to see 100 children sponsored in this chosen campaign, and that is the purpose of the trip.
Yeah. Something I remember from that film we watched as well is there was that teacher and he was teaching the children outside. They were all trying to fit under a tree. How many kids can you fit under a tree? Not
Depends
that
on
many.
the tree, Lizzie.
It wasn't that big a tree because they didn't have enough classrooms.
Yeah, there wasn't enough space to get all these kids inside, and the reason they're packed under a tree is because I imagine, I'll tell you when I come back, I think it's very hot in Uganda. That sun will be very intense, so they're trying to teach these kids as best they can without the classrooms, outside under a tree. Yeah, so honestly, it's going to be quite the trip. I think we leave on the 3rd of August and then we come back on the 11th. The the 11th of August. And then during that time is when we're on air asking if, the star listeners are able to sign up to be chosen. So the way this works is it really puts the power back in the kids' hands, which is so cool. Previously, if you've sponsored a child, you get presented with pictures of these gorgeous little faces and you say, oh, I'd like to sponsor her, or I choose him, or, I'll pick this one. But instead, you say, I'll sponsor a kid. You send a photo of yourself, and then it gets all pegged up at this cute little party that they host for the children, and that's happening on the 20th of August. So if you sign up to be chosen, your picture will be at this party on the 20th of August, and you could just be sponsoring a beautiful little child who's chosen you. Puts the power back in their hands, really, to choose that hope, choose that future for themselves.
It's so good. Well, every blessing for your trip, Shez. We will definitely be praying, and I look forward to your stories coming back while you're there. We'll be able to share them on air, and then people will have the opportunity to be part of that chosen campaign in Uganda. Have a good trip, Shez.
Thank you, Lizzie.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you can catch all our interviews on Star. See you next time.